right from the beginning when I started my career in 1983. Many of you wouldn't be born in 1983, I'm sure. How many of you were you born in 1983? All of you are post 1990, I'm guessing, or post 1995, 98? Who's the oldest here? Nobody is willing to say it. Okay. So anyway, I'm not getting into who's old, who's young. I'm young. I feel very young at this age also. Ephemeral panorama. I was very intrigued with what topic was given to this entire TEDx event. So I asked, what is it? So I was told it is about flitting moments. So it's a very apt theme, I would think, because life is all about flitting moments. Life is made up of aggregation of flitting moments. Moments that come and go, and if one is able to seize it, one is able to grab it, and then make the best use of it, then you try and develop yourself as you go along. So in my life, there have been several instances where flitting moments have turned into opportunities. Opportunities have turned into some achievements, and achievements have then taken me or propelled me forward as we go along. So if you look at the various photographs that you're seeing here, these are later years of the photograph, my life, recent achievements or recent acquaintances and friends, those who I became an author. So let me start with how I became a journalist. Instead of joining the Indian Air Force, for which I was selected, I became a journalist in the summer of 1983. It happened because of a flitting moment. If you remember, if you have read, if you're a cricket fan, then Kapil Dev's team won the Cricket World Cup in June 1983. And I was a trainee sports journalist in a newspaper because my results had got delayed and I had to wait for another 1 year to get into the Air Force, giving another exam. And I was talking to my editor one night saying, winning this Cricket World Cup is fine, but the West Indies team is going to come back to India a little later, about 2 months later, and they're going to thrash the same team because West Indies is far superior. So when I was saying this, he said, why don't you write an article? Let's see if you can write an article, put your thoughts together, and we'll see whether what you're saying is correct. Can you put it down on paper? Because talking is one thing, putting it down in writing on paper is quite another. So I said, okay, I'll write it. So at night, between 11 p.m. and 2 a.m., I wrote a 800-word piece on the Indian cricket team and how they should be careful in not going overboard, not being euphoric. That article was my first ever published article in my career. It got published in a newspaper in Guwahati in Assam. And then my editor told me that you are not going to go into the Air Force because you are born to be a journalist. That flitting moment made me into a journalist because he insisted that I have the flair, I have the talent, and I have the capacity to be a journalist. It was a very less sought after profession at that point in time in 1980s, early 1980s, where it was underpaid, overworked, no guarantee of jobs. It was not a Sarkari job, and it was not a done thing to become a journalist. But I became one because of that one flitting dialogue or a moment that my editor presented to me, and I seized it. I wrote that piece. I became a journalist. And then there were several such incidents going forward. So life is not always about planning. Life is about what is called carpe diem. Seize the moment without thinking of what is going to happen in the future. If you do that, you have a plan certainly, but if the plan doesn't work, don't panic. There is always something waiting for you to happen going forward. It's not necessary that everything will happen according to the plan. So don't plan too much is what my philosophy has been. Take life as it comes. What do you call on the computer? Something called the screensaver. If you come to my laptop or my desktop in the office, the screensaver on my laptop is take life as it comes. Because life can throw up several challenges unexpectedly. You may have taken admission here in BITS Pilani, Hyderabad campus. You've got your degree to complete, then you will become a postgraduate in some subject that you're doing, but you might end up doing something else in life. That is how life is unpredictable and should be unpredictable. So don't plan too much. If you have another flair, you are an electrical engineer, for instance, or a mechanical engineer, and suddenly you find that you are a good writer or you are a good screenwriter, you write good dialogues for movies or films, or you also have a gaming ability to do codes for gaming, new games coming up. Probably you'll end up there. So life is all about ephemeral panorama. The panorama is there, it's ephemeral, it is flitting, it waits for you only for that moment. If you seize that moment, you can make good of the opportunity that comes your way. There are several instances I can tell you. I was in Guwahati in Assam, all the way in the northeast, and nothing to do with Delhi. The Kargil war broke out in 1999, summer of 1999. And I suggested to my editor, Vinod Mehta of Outlook, that time I was with Outlook magazine. And I said, I want to travel in a train that soldiers are being brought from India's northeast into Jammu and Kashmir to fight the war in Kargil. And it will be a good feature I can write, looking at their mindset, their, what they feel about going into war. Are they fearful? Are they excited? Something of that kind. So he said, okay, fine, you come. Then one day I get a call 2-3 days later from my editor saying, how quickly can you come to Delhi? I said, I don't know, the train is not yet starting. Whenever the train comes, it will take 3-4 days to come to Delhi. He said, no, fly to Delhi. So I said, why? He said, no, I'm sending you to Kargil. So because of my conversation with him and this proposal of a report, which I said that I will travel on the train, it suddenly hit my editor that, okay, I can send this boy all the way to Kargil even without waiting for boarding that train. Because that is not important. It is important to report from the field where the war was taking place. And because I had the idea, I had the enthusiasm, I had the courage, I had the stamina, he probably selected me and said, okay, you go there. So he just threw me at the deep end, saying within 24 hours you have to be in Kargil. So I got to Kargil, not knowing anything about the geography, about the location, about the people. We didn't have hotels, we didn't have a place to stay, so we slept in the car. We traveled around and we sort of reported. And I stayed there on that 24-hour notice for 45 days in the summer of 1999, exactly 25 years ago. So that was a flitting moment. Opportunity came, I seized it. Several instances my colleagues have come across like this in their life, but my life has been full of coincidences, full of opportunities, breaks, lucky breaks. So I always call myself a very lucky bloke. Of course, it's backed by hard work, backed by diligence, backed by something that you want to do in life. When you do it wholeheartedly, only then you can succeed. So if you have decided that, once I decided that I will be a journalist after some hesitation, I said, okay, I'm going to put my whole and my entire soul, my entire ability, and I'll work hard. Without hard work, nothing gets done. You may be talented, you may be extremely innovative in what you do, in whatever things you do. But if you don't back it up with discipline, hard work, and perseverance, it doesn't succeed. And I can tell you that 99% of my time goes in being absolutely disciplined. So when I write books, I've written a dozen books, as you would have noticed, or somebody would have told you. While being a journalist on a day-to-day basis, being busy in the whole day. So when I got offers to write books, I said, how do I find time? Then I realized that there are only 24 hours in the day. So out of that, about 10 hours go in my daily job, my day job as they call it, where I have to be on the field, I have to meet people, I have to report, I have to write, all that I have to do. I have to sleep for 7-8 hours. So 18 hours gone, what am I left with? Just about 6 hours or so. So I said, okay, I will write, whenever I have to write a book or I have to research my book, I will do it between 4 and 7 in the morning, 4 a.m. and 7 a.m. in the morning, and make sure that I sleep at 9:30 or 9:45 at night. So it required a lot of hard work, giving up a lot of parties, get-togethers, sitting with friends, having a drink. All that I had to give up if I had to write a book. So when I write my books for 6 months, I'm in a zone. I'm disciplined. I get up at 3:45, start writing at 4 or researching at 4, end it at 7, go for a walk, do some exercise, sleep for an hour, then go back to my day's work. Unless you do that, unless you back up your interest, your passion with hard work and discipline, you'll never succeed. So again, fleeting moments. You must understand that these moments come but once in life. They will not come again and again. And therefore, you have to seize those moments. Those moments make up for your life success or life's journey. I'm not even calling myself successful. My journey has been satisfying. What is my destination? I do not know. I've done this for 41 years. How long I'll do, I do not know. How long will I be able to do it physically and without getting tired and without getting, cynical about it? I do not know. But I'm not interested in what's going to happen in the future. I'm interested in here and now. Today I'm here. I agreed to come here. I said, okay, I'm here right now. So I will be with you. I will speak to you on my life's experiences. So what has journalism given me? How these fleeting moments come? Somebody, when I was in Guwahati and I had multiple interests, sports, films, history, trivia, military, cricket, everything I wanted to do. So my editor probably recognized that, and he said one day, this film star Asha Parekh is in town. Would you be able to go and interview her? I said, certainly, because I've seen many of her movies, but I'll be tongue-tied. I've never interacted with a movie star. But I went, taking courage in my hands and going and sitting with her. If that photograph can be, if this video can be put back again, maybe the first photograph is of Asha Parekh and me sitting, I'm sitting with Asha Parekh. Similarly, big interviews with the big people, when I'm completely nervous, but I can't show that nervousness. Seizing the moment remained the bottom line of each of these moments that I've done. Going to Kargil, going and reporting on the Elam War 4 in Sri Lanka between Tamil Tigers and the Sri Lankan army between 2006 and 2009. Somebody told me that there is an opportunity to go. Are you able to go? This question was asked by my editor Pranay Roy in NDTV in 2006. How many of you are willing to go to the battlefield in Sri Lanka? So 2 or 3 of us put our hands up. And then they said, how many of you can go tomorrow morning? He's asking us in the evening, this evening, let's say, around 7 o'clock in the evening. I said, so he asked 3 of us who had put up our hands, how many of you can go tomorrow morning, 5 o'clock is the flight to Colombo? I was the only one. Seize the moment. Went there and I kept reporting that war for 3 years. And, it was a lifetime experience to be on the battlefield, to see how wars are prosecuted, how wars are fought, and how modern wars can become multiple wars. They are not just kinetic wars. They are not about bullets and bombs and fighting hand to hand, but also about war of narratives, war of perception, where Tamil Tigers were saying that we are being discriminated against. The others were, the Sinhala or the rulers of Sri Lanka were saying these terrorists need to be eliminated. So it became a war of narratives. So there are several kinds of wars that happen. But if I had not seized that moment and said, okay, I'll take the risk, I'll go without any notice, I wouldn't have been able to go through that experience. So experiences come when you seize the moment. Ephemeral. It's a fleeting moment. It just stays there for some time. And after that, it just vanishes. So seize the opportunity. My thing, I've got 3.5 more minutes to go. 3 or 4 mantras which I have practiced and I've been reasonably okay in life, not failed, utterly failed, reasonably okay. 3 or 4 things you retain in life, in whatever profession you go. What are those? 1, do serious work, a lot of serious work. Be passionate, be completely involved in what you do, but never take yourself seriously. And I'll explain that in a half a minute. When I say do serious work, don't take yourself seriously, is this. As a journalist, I never ever felt that I am the final arbiter or my comment, my word is the last word as far as any controversy, any subject is concerned. I am not somebody who's going to topple governments or bring down governments because of my reports. I don't have that illusion. All I know is that I have to do this work. After that, whatever the consequences, they will follow. But not because I have done that, because there will be several other factors. So never take yourself seriously. Do serious work, number one. Number two, be curious. Be a student all your life. Unless you have curiosity, even when you get to old age, when you get to maturity, you will never be able to develop yourself. Don't think that you've earned the degree or postgraduate degree, you've got everything. Because things change. Those who earned degrees in the 70s or 80s like us, today that curriculum is of no use to us. I'm a physics honors graduate, BSc, simple BSc, physics honors graduate. I don't even remember one single P of physics anymore. Because that was not the profession I chose to go in. So therefore, be a student all your life. Once I got into journalism, I started learning the language and nuances of journalism. Something similar, if you do, you will be able to go through life easily. Third thing, it is more important what you don't speak. Even if you have knowledge about something which is harmful, which is going to create problems for everybody, keep it to yourself. Be discreet. The point here is be discreet. You can't be indiscreet and then hope to win over people. So be judgmental, but don't allow that judgment to cloud your decisions going forward. Take all sides of the story and then come to a conclusion. Your life is not a linear path. If you understand, life is all about ups and downs. Life is all about facing. There is a song in Hindi in a movie called Hum Dono, which stars Devanand, long time ago, my age probably, 62. It came out in 1963, where he says, "Har fikr ko dhuएं में उड़ाता चला गया," which means all worries I let it go up in smoke when I'm smoking a cigarette. But also I brought myself to a stage where too much success doesn't give me elation, I don't get overjoyed, and too much failure doesn't put me down. So I am neutral. Be neutral. Try and be neutral. Try and face the life as it comes. You will be more than successful. My time is ending. I wish you all the best in your future endeavors and whatever you're doing. This is something that to be enjoyed and not to be struggled through. Enjoy every struggle also as you go forward. Thank you very much for your time and attention. Thank you.